This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hello everybody, welcome to another War and Pieces. Today we are going to be talking about probably one of the most historic games of them all. And I ended up getting a really good copy, and I couldn't help it, but of course I had to have it, even though this is probably like the third copy I have of the game, and that is Tactics 2. Boy, I'll tell you something. You want to talk about one of the just landmark foundation games out there. It's Tactics 2. A tremendous experience. There's no nations, there's no theme. It's just pure warfare at its finest. Red versus blue. Can't get any more simpler than that. Let's go down to the table and take a look at this little gem. Today, in my mind, still one of the greatest games ever made. Very simple what's going to happen here. It is blue versus red. You're going to move and try to capture, if you're the red, the blue capital, and the blue is going to try to capture the red capital. Very basic. Everything's very basic on here. We have a tank here, which obviously it's 2-7. That's 2 attack and 7 movement. Now, how does movement work? Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, okay? The very straightforward rules are, don't worry about terrain effects. All you want to do is capture towns and eventually capture the big town. Getting over there and doing everything that you do, there's no penalty going through forest or anything in the basic. But they do have the advanced game where they do talk about weather effects and things like that. So once you feel you've mastered, which is not the easiest thing to do, mastered the basic game, they set you up to add roads that'll cut down movement, actually make you move faster, and then you're going to have to learn how to defend a lot easier. Moving into cities, there's going to be penalties for that. Organizing your forces are going to be a certain way. You're going to add in mountain units, weather, when you want to start, crossing rivers, the penalties for going across rivers, and of course you can have nuclear weapons, which how can you ever go wrong? It comes with a couple of charts here. They keep things nice and basic. For instance here, it's just so simple. You're going to move up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One side is going to move all their units. So if I wanted to, I can move right up along with him and just kind of move this all behind there. Now, they will have the option to do the same on their turn. If I decided to stop right there, and we're only going to do that for the sake of explaining what happens here, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You stop the minute you come in contact with another unit, okay? And we would do the same here. Now, these units would fight. Now, for instance, if this unit wasn't here, it would be 2 versus 1, which is 2 to 1. We would go to our chart, and we would roll a d6. So for 2 to 1, let's see what would happen here. We're going to roll 1. It would be, well, defender eliminated. Very nice. Already, we've taken out 1 unit. Now, if it was like this, though, all right, we would be pretty much even odds, because of course it would be 1-on-1, and at even odds, 1 to 1. Let's see what would happen with the first unit. I rolled a 3 there, a 3, and that would be defender back 2. Now the defender can't go back 2. That's going to be a problem. The defender is going to be eliminated. If any time the odds go above a 6 to 1, as you can see, you have little lines here, and if you were able to surround a unit, for instance, This unit decided to come here, and we all just kind of piled up on it. That unit is just automatic. You don't even have to roll the dice. It's automatically eliminated. If ever there are two units in the same capital, that is disputed. In order to capture the capital, you have to be the only one there. So just a lot of really neat things. You have infantry, you have armor, you have headquarters, which basically are just there for defense. Anytime they defend, they are considered to be a one factor. And a lot of fun. I always think that the nuclear weapon's kind of fun to throw in there every once in a while. But just very simple, very easy. Or you can jack it up a little bit, add your weather chart in there, and that's going to affect how you're going to play, fog and everything else, using the sea tiles which surround the entire island here. One of the things I do want to show you is a really old catalog here, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it that came with this phenomenal game. So let's take a look at that. Now, you're never going to beat the old games for certain. They just have a special place in my heart. But boy, I'll tell you, I would love to see this game redone in today's modern, with all the advancements that they have, and just make a real simple entry-level game like this for kids. Red versus blue, and just let them have fun at it. Inside this was just some amazing stuff I wanted to share. The Avalon General, if everybody remembers the General, the Game Players magazine. But it was really cool seeing this. Games and Parts and Prices list for 1985. Really just some older stuff. RuneQuest, we all remember that. And things like that. Anybody remember the James Bond series? All right. Oh, how can you forget Ambush? Probably considered one of the greatest of all time. Sixth Fleet. The Duel, science fiction and fantasy games that they had out. The Duel. Stellar Quest, which was great. Space Harvest was pretty good. Which was a Dune Spice Harvest, which was a Dune expansion. Diplomacy, Circus Maximus, Gunslinger, Guns of August. Look at this, no dice required. Look at this, Apple, Atari, Commodore 64, IBM. So you've got all the Beast War, all these things. Oh wow, this just goes back. Oh God, you know, Hitler's War. Does anybody remember that one? Squad Leader, of course. Advanced Squad Leader was just getting going. Here's one that really killed me, was taking a look at Avalon Hill, the video game company. Okay, they were actually making things for the 2600, Death Trap, Shuttle Orbiter, London Blitz, Out of Control, and Wall Ball. Okay, all right. And then, of course, microcomputer games, Avalon's microcomputer games, fantasy games. Empire of the Overmind. Does anybody remember that one? Forest of the Witch King. All these old phenomenal things. Quest of the Space Badge. Oh jeez. Science fiction, Galaxy, Andromeda Quest. Oh man, just the old days. B1, Nuclear Bomber. Midway Campaign. All these great old games. And the back here. Shootout at OK Corral. God, I forgot about that one. Computer Stocks and Bonds, which everybody thought was ahead of its time. All these simulations and things like that, and leisure, family time games. You can get the General magazine, all the Sports Illustrated football games and stuff like that, pro tennis, basketball, and things like that. Discontinued parts list, right? Even then, discontinued stuff. So I thought that was kind of neat to kind of show you this and Victory Games together, and of course microcomputer games from Avalon Hill. Just neat to see this nice. I wish we can just order all this stuff in here. All right, let's go up and get my final thoughts on Tactics 2. It's really amazing to go back in time and take a look at this. especially when we were going through the catalog a little bit. I thought that was a little fun. Like I said, just one of the best games out there. If you have a child or somebody that you want to get into wargaming or just gaming period, this is a great stepping stone. It is military chess at its best. Simple, unique, but fun, and just plenty of strategic value where you start teaching tactics. And after all, it's called Tactics too, right? To me, probably one of the greatest war games ever made. Simple, unique, it even has nuclear weapons in it. I mean, they even say, hey, if you want to give them a nuclear weapon here. You don't need it here, but definitely an experience that you'll be very happy to play. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon.